All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I have commanded thee this day, and the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, of the blessed shall thou be in thy field. Blessed shall be the fruit of the body, and the fruit of thy ground, and thy fruit of thy cattle, and increase of the neat and the flock, and thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store, and the store. Blessed shall thou be in when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be in when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face, and thou shalt come out against thee one way, and flee before the 7 ways. The Lord shall command thee the blessing upon thee and thy stone horses, and all that thou settest thy hand unto, and he shall bless thee in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandment of the Lord thy God, and walk his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou called by the name of the Lord thy God, shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make the plenteous in the goods, in the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, of the fruit of the ground, in the land which the Lord sware unto the fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his goods treasures, the heavens, to give thee rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of the hands. And thou shalt lead unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow, and the Lord shall make the hand and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandment of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and do them, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand of or to the left, to go after other gods, to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statute which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be in thy basket, in thy store. Cursed shall be in the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, increase of thy knee, and flock of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon the cursing vaccine and rebuke in all that thou settle thy hand unto, for to do unto thou be destroyed, and unto thee perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy daring, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the Christianus cleave unto thee, unto he have consumed thee from off the land, rather thou goest to pose it. The Lord shall smite thee with a compassion, with a flavor, and with it inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and the blasting with the meadow, and they shall pursue thee unto the perish. And thou have heaven that is over the head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land, powder and dust from the heaven shall it come down unto thee, unto thou be destroyed. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth. And thou shall be meant unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beast of the earth, and no man shall fly them away. The Lord shall smite thee with thy botch of Egypt, and with thy remons, and with the scribe, and with the etch, wherefore thou canst not be healed. The Lord shall smite thee with the madness, and the blindness, and austerity of heart. And thou shalt grape at noonday, as the blind grape in the darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only opposed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall slave thee. Thou shalt betroth thy wife, and another man shall lie with her. Shalt build in a house, and thou shalt not dwell then, and thou shalt not dwell torn. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. The ox shall be slain before thy eyes, and thou shalt not eat. Therefore thy ass shall be vomited taken away from before the face shall be restored to thee. The sheep shall be given unto thee enemies, and thou shalt have none to restore them. Thy son and thy daughter shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fall with the young for them all the days long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. The fruit of thy land and all the labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only opposed and crushed away, so that thou shalt be made for the sight of the eyes which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knee, and in the legs, and sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers had known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone, and thou shalt become an astronomy, a perb, and a byword among all the nations. Rather the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little, and for the low cost shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyard and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy cost, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, and thine oil shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head of thy salt, be the trail. Moreover, all the craze shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which his commandments thee. And they shall be open thee for a sin and for a wonder, and upon thy sin forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyful press and with gladness of the heart, for abundant for all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee, and the hunger and the thirst and the nakedness and wet of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon the neck until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as eagle, for a fifth nation whose tongue shall not understand. A nation of foreign continuance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew forever the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, unto thy be destroyed, which also shall not leave there either come wine or oil, or the increase of thy meat and flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall be beside thee, and all the goats unto thy high and fenced walls come down. Run thou trottest throughout all the land, and he shall beside thee, and all the gates throughout all the land which the Lord thy God had given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of their own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy God had given thee in the sage and the saltines, wherever thine enemies shall distress thee. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them that of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the sage, and in the straitness wherefore thine enemies shall distress thee, and all thy gates. The tender and the delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of delicate and the tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear, she shall eat them for what all things securely in the sage, and straightness where within thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gate. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of all this law, that thou mayest fear this fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make the plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and a long continuous and sore sickness, and along the continuous. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the disease of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall crave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will be the Lord bring unto thee, until thou be destroyed, and ye shall be left in few in numbers, where ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to the naughty, and ye shall be plucked from off the land, rather thou goest to proceed it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth unto the other, and there shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and the stone. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of the foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall bring in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and that shall have none sense of thy life. And in the morning thou shalt say, Would God it were even, and it at the evening thou shalt say, Would God it were morning, for the fear of thy heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of the lies which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee unto the Egypt again with ship by the ways whose I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you.